For the 360 view of this, we bring in our political panel, civil rights attorney Robert Patillo and conservative commentator Steve Malzberg. Thanks for helping us break this all down. I have to start off. Steve, is there a little, do you want to do a little dance? Is there something you want to, let's just go on and get it out here. Okay, there you go. Robert, do you want to cry? Do you want to do a dance too? I don't want to leave you out of this. I enjoy starting any segment where there's dancing involved. Call me Ellen. Steve, come on now. It's been nearly 2 years of this investigation, and it appears, not going to totally rule it out, but that Trump is completely in the clear, no collusion. Shocking. Barr says the report doesn't draw a conclusion on President Trump obstructing justice. I do have to think, though, for obstruction, you have to have a crime. Is this the Mueller report era? Is it actually done in Washington, D.C.? Can we move on?
No, the Democrats won't let us move on. And here's what I find comical, and I really don't understand how anybody's accepting this. Barr said that the Mueller report did not charge Donald Trump with the crime of obstruction of justice. They knew that 3 weeks ago, as it turns out. We find out today, not just 48 hours to look at it, 3 weeks ago. So they looked at it. They took it to people in the Justice Department. They analyzed the standards for charging for that crime. They all came up with the same conclusion. There's no evidence or not enough evidence to charge the president with obstruction of justice. To say, but he's not exonerated, is like saying you or me, police and the DA of my city, my town, they've investigated me for 2 years. A grand jury's convened. They decide not to charge me, but I have to wear a sign on my chest that says, but you're not exonerated. What is that? You're not charged with a crime. Guess what? It's the definition of being exonerated.
Well, that's the thing. Democrats don't seem like they're saying he's exonerated if you watch a lot of the television today, which if you're watching this network, you're not getting that message. You're actually getting what's going on in the world. But, Robert, Democrats have put so much time and effort into these investigations. I think it's to the tune of $20 million, even claiming it would be the damning evidence needed to make Trump an illegitimate president, forcing maybe that he would have to resign or they would have impeachment. Do you see this letting this go? Or will Democrats continue to claim collusion or claim something that will make this investigation go on and on and on?
Well, I think what they're going to do is continue their oversight process. Remember, part of what the House is responsible for doing is oversight over the executive branch with 3 co-equal branches of government. So it's not about the media circus around. I think the media definitely overplayed their hands with this instead of just having Mueller issue his report. Every time the president tweeted about this was a distraction. Every time Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer came out and did a press conference was a distraction. Just let the evidence fall as it may. We have dozens of people who were charged and indicted with crimes. We have people reporting to jail left and right about this. The system worked. It kept the corrupt individuals out of our government. And now let's concentrate on the work of the American people. So, yes, continue investigating where oversight is needed, but let's not turn into this hyperbolic media circus that just consumed Washington for 2 years. And then, regardless of how it came out, you've had one side saying this is the greatest report on earth and the other side saying it has absolutely no validity, and it just flips depending on the outcome.
No, you're completely right at that. But, Robert, I have to ask you, on Friday, this came out. It was kind of just a slip out, a press release. Then Sunday, we saw a summary. Why do you think there was, I mean, this was a $20 million investigation that both Republicans and Democrats had gone back and forth on. Why did we not see a more formal announcement of the investigation being turned over to Congress for their sort of review? It was kind of just done on a Friday as people were leaving and kind of were not happy that they had to spend their weekend having to focus on this so much.
Well, the Justice Department and the FBI are not politicians. They're not political wings. They don't have
really?
They don't have the same PR apparatus as the political branches are, so they just released the report. And if, as for Democrats calling for the release of the full report, that would be absolutely improper. Because if you are Joe Smo, who happens to work at Trump Industries or wherever, and your name is now in the report, you can have huge repercussions on your life going forward based on the full release of the report. So, of course, it has to be redacted, reviewed. I'm sure we'll get more information down the line. But the people calling for the full release of the report just don't understand confidentiality and what that would do to people's lives who are tangentially involved in this apparatus.
Well, that's the thing. The people include fully Congress, and Donald Trump himself are now saying release the report. So, Steve, to that point right there, do you think right now that we should release the entire report, maybe even redact some names from it? Will that help, or is that just going to continue to fuel this fire?
No, I think some portion of it will be released. There'll be plenty of redactions. There'll be no grand jury testimony. The Democrats will never be satisfied, and they're going to march towards impeachment. That's what it's all about. Nancy Pelosi said today, Putin still has something on Trump. They're nuts. They're out of their minds.
Well, you two are definitely not out of your minds, hence why I am so excited every time I see that you two are coming on the show. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Scottie.
Thanks, Scottie.
Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this last video. We have a ton more great content just like this for you. So if you want more, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. And remember, never stop questioning more.